Well, I think we aspire to a leadership model that is now become pretty common. It wasn't when it was first introduced, and I wish I could remember who coined initially the phrase servant leader. But we really ascribe to servant leadership and having the attributes of humility and openness and transparency, concern for people. Those are the things that we want to foster in our leadership teams. And I think it's pretty hard to become too full of yourself as a leader if you're really paying attention to the first and foremost to the people you're leading and their needs. And you're really listening and caring about them in an appropriate way. I think that keeps us grounded and it keeps us focused on the things we should be focused on. So that I think has really helped us overcome this, some of the trappings of big companies and lots of success and growth. And we've stayed fundamentally true to that philosophy of servant leadership. It's been a powerful, compelling philosophy and principle for our company. Profit is the thing that makes us all work. Without that, nothing is sustainable. That's what keeps our businesses going. That's what allows us to grow and reinvest and create jobs. And for most companies, it's a razor-thin bottom line. We're talking about just the difference between fractions of percents that are left over. And that's what we have left over to reinvest in the business. So, in the food business, when I say razor thin, I mean it. I mean, it's really a very low margin business. It's a high volume, low margin business. But we have to have that margin so that we can take care of our people and grow the business. We like to say, though, that profit is a derivative of doing things the right way for the right reasons. That's a byproduct of being a good company and doing the right things. What encourages me is I see a shift in large and small companies. There seems to be a more philanthropic approach now to companies, public companies and private companies, to saying how can we contribute to the greater good by taking a certain part of our profit and reinvesting it in society. Not necessarily just more trucks and equipment and buildings and people, but also to a broader community or a broader group of people that need help. There seems to be a shift toward that, which I think is greatly encouraging. You see it come out in many creative ways in terms of how people are taking this concept and applying it, but something that, again, we were able to do as a private company that most companies can't do. But it was a way to put expression and real meaning behind one of our tenets or philosophies that people come first. So how do you show that? How do you prove that? How do you demonstrate that? A lot of ways. It starts with thanking people, simply thanking people, but you got to put your money where your mouth is. And we developed in 1962 a profit sharing plan. And we said we're going to take 20% of the profits of this company and give it back to our employees every year. Today that's worth $1.6 billion. And the people that you walked by yesterday, some of those folks are retiring after driving a high-low or loading trucks for 40 years. With over $1 million in their profit-sharing plan. These aren't people, these aren't management people. These are frontline people that are walking out of here with a security for retirement that could have only come, but it's us saying, you've earned every penny of it. That you contributed to our success, and here's how we are paying you back by saying, hey, thanks, and here's 20% of the profits of the company. So you can have a comfortable, secure retirement and can maybe help pay for your grandkids' education at the same time. Could we do that without profit? It all starts there. That's what allows us to be generous and allows us to reinvest for the future. None of that happens without a bottom line.